Greetings, loved ones. Would you know how to spot child physical abuse? According to the CDC, over half of all the children in the world, that's 1 billion children ages 2 to 17, experience violence every year. Today, we're going to talk about the physical abuse of children. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You could save a life. What is child physical abuse? Despite the popular notion that child abuse is rare, almost 200,000 cases were reported in the United States and its territories in 2017. The actual number of cases is probably much higher because many people fail to report known or suspected abuse. And it is worth repeating that today, according to the CDC, over half of all children in the world, 1 billion children ages 2 to 17 experience violence every year. Social workers and other health-related professionals used to refer to signs of child physical abuse as battered children syndrome. This terminology referred to the bone fractures and related injuries occurring when the child was too young to accidentally become injured in this way. So let's get into the definition of physical child abuse. Experts have now expanded the physical child abuse definition. They now define it as non-accidental injury resulting from hitting, whipping, beating, biting, kicking, or anything that harms a child's body. Children in physically abusive situations often have unexplained broken bones, bruise marks in the shape of an object such as a belt or hand, or burn marks from cigarettes on exposed areas or on the genitalia. In Honduras, it is common for there to be burns on the hands because parents put their children's hands on the metal plate over the fire where they cook. So physical child abuse, how and where do you report it? You may encounter someone that exhibits the signs of physical child abuse at a family or school event, church gathering, or any number of places. Sometimes healthcare professionals identify physical child abuse when an adult brings a child to the emergency room with an unlikely explanation about how the injury occurred. Sometimes it's evident that the injury is old. If you see a child with unexplained bruises, black eyes, choke marks around the neck, human bite marks, lash marks, or the like, it's your responsibility to report it to the proper authorities. All states have laws in place requiring you to report known or suspected child abuse or neglect. You can call your own healthcare provider or your state's child protective services. Most states have a child abuse hotline that you can call to report child physical abuse. You can also call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD. That's 1-800-422-4453. This information will be in our description. Of course, if you suspect a child is in immediate danger, call 911 immediately. What happens after you report child physical abuse? Child Protective Services, sometimes called social services, human welfare, or children and family services, the police or emergency services will never reveal your identity to the child or any adults involved in the abusive situation. Social workers and other appropriate authorities will investigate the situation and evaluate whether abuse or neglect has occurred. If they determine the child is being abused or neglected, they may temporarily or permanently remove the child from the situation, and he or she will undergo further diagnostic tests and exams. The investigative team will then come up with the best possible recovery plan for the child. Parents or other adults involved in inflicting physical child abuse will need therapy and sometimes other more punitive interventions. Recovery prognosis for the child depends upon the extent of the abuse, the nature of the injuries, and the psychological effect these experiences have had on him or her. If you suspect child abuse or neglect, report your concerns to the proper authorities. You may be wrong, but it's better to be erring on the side of caution, especially when an innocent child hangs in the balance. According to the CDC, again, I will say, over half of all the children in the world, that's 1 billion children ages 2 to 17. I can't get my head around that. 1 billion children ages 2 to 17 experience violence every year. The question is not if you'll encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. Micah 6:8 says, He has showed you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. You are called. We are all called to be champions for justice. If you are a victim of violence, please listen to me. I want you to know this. You are valued. You are loved. You are intelligent. You are worthy. And there is a way out. I want you to know that it is not your fault. No matter what they say, it is not your fault. Abuse is not love. If someone abuses you and then says they love you, they're lying to you. But more than anything, I want you to know that you are not alone. If you're suffering violence, reach out to someone today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. If you know of a child or other person suffering violence, tell the authorities. Please tell the authorities. In our next episode, we're going to continue talking about the physical abuse of children. Until then, God bless you.